The United States is at war with Iran. Russia is feeding intelligence to the enemy to kill American soldiers. And what does the president do? He sits down for a round table about college football. And when asked about the war, he calls the question stupid. What does that tell you about who's in charge? Stay until the end, because what you're about to hear will leave you speechless.
The World Health Organization says at least 13 hospitals and clinics have been struck in Iran so far. 4 medics are among the more than 1,200 people killed there, according to local reports. And to be clear, this is all entirely consistent with Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth's demand that his commanders go for maximum lethality.
The dumb, politically correct wars of the past were the opposite of what we're doing here. They had vague objectives with restrictive, minimalist rules of engagement. No more. Our authorities, his authorities, CENTCOM's authorities through the president and myself are maxed out.
Maxed out. We're not doing woke anymore. We're not doing rules of engagement. We're not listening to lawyers. We're killing as many people as we can. Children and teachers and parents and loved ones buried in a mass funeral. While bombs are falling in a dozen different countries and people are taking cover. And at least 6 American service members are dead. 1,200 Iranians, over 120 in Lebanon, 11 Israelis, 9 Gulf state residents. Those are the human costs just so far of this war of choice. Energy prices are spiking. The economy is sputtering. And today, the Washington Post reports, and MS Now has confirmed, Russia is providing Iran with targeting information to attack American forces in the Middle East, including the location of U.S. warships and aircraft, marking the unofficial entry of a second major American adversary into this war that Congress has not signed off on. Something Donald Trump at a truly bizarre event about, of all things, college athletics, something Donald Trump was asked about at that event tonight.
It sounds like the Russians are helping Iran target and attack Americans now.
That's an easy problem compared to what we're doing here. I mean, but can I be honest? It's just, I have a lot of respect for you. You've always been very nice to me. What a stupid question that is to be asking at this time. We're talking about something else.
You're asking me about war? About our American service members being targeted by an adversary at a time like this when I'm trying to solve the transfer portal? Do you know how much money these schools are paying in NIL? Do you know? We are talking about serious business here, and you want to ask about war. This is a war, by the way, with, again, no real objections, no real objectives, no real plans, no end goals. But, and really, this is really just the cherry on top of this very, very long day and week. That did not stop Trump this morning from, and I swear to God I'm not making it up, as you will hear, teasing to CNN's Dana Bash the next war he wants to launch.
What you just watched isn't just an awkward moment from a short-tempered president. It's a pattern. And once you understand the pattern, the anger gives way to something worse. The clarity of realizing this is a deliberate strategy. Trump didn't lose control in that moment with the reporter. He ran a playbook he's been using since 2015. When a question threatens to expose a serious contradiction, especially about war, about deaths, about accountability, the answer isn't to answer. The answer is to attack the question, mock the person asking it, and pivot to something that feels popular and positive. NIL deals, the transfer portal, college sports, topics that have nothing to do with the context, but that work as an emotional smokescreen for the base he's trying to reach. And here's the point that very few commentators are making. This isn't poor communication skills. It's a highly efficient way of managing the narrative in a fragmented media ecosystem. Part of the audience will walk away with the image of the annoying reporter who crashed a sports event. Another part will be outraged by the dodge. And in the end, the conversation becomes about the clash itself, not about the 165 victims at a girls' school. That's the trick. Turn tragedy into noise and noise into normalcy. There's another element here that deserves attention, one that probably flew by quickly in the video, the mention of Cuba. When a sitting president during an active military operation starts floating the possibility of another country falling, That's not idle talk. That's narrative testing. He's gauging public reaction to a potential escalation, using a casual interview as a trial balloon. This is exactly how parts of expansionist foreign policy doctrine have been built before, through offhand, informal comments that later become actual policy. And the progressive press needs to stop treating each of these comments as an isolated gaffe. They are pieces of a puzzle that, when assembled, reveals a coherent and dangerous worldview. A worldview that uses foreign conflict as domestic distraction, that delegitimizes the press as an institution, and that treats civilian death as acceptable statistical data as long as it doesn't make the top of the evening news. What genuinely worries me isn't Trump fighting with a reporter. That's almost routine at this point. What worries me is the number of people who watched that moment and thought the reporter was the one in the wrong. Because when a society starts to believe that asking about war is an intrusion, something far more serious than a bad press conference is happening. So here's my question for you watching this. How far does our tolerance for this pattern go? Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. And if this video made you think about something you hadn't considered before, share it, because this kind of analysis only reaches more people when you help spread it.